So coming onto your back, you can decide if you want the soles of the feet together, like so, which starts to open the hips, or you can just take a regular legs wide, arms wide. And two, if you are wanting that like shoulder opening and chest opening, sometimes I even like fold a pillow and put it right in between my shoulder blades, and that helps to start open up that area and kind of reverse what we tend to do all day. So a block or a folded pillow or something that just gives you a little height on that part. And once we're there, just without much change, just taking notice of where the breath is at as we come to our mat, where the mind might wander, just taking a few moments to just notice things without any judgment. And then you can gently start to deepen your breath. If it helps you stay present and grounded at the start, you might even move one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. And just taking notice of the rise and fall of the belly and the chest. Just allowing yourself to continue settling in there. Checking where you might be holding tension, releasing the jaw, releasing the brow, releasing the hips. I spent some time this week thinking about how I really miss teaching yoga in person, because I just love our little yogi community at school so much. And then I started thinking about how when we practice sometimes, probably not so much at school together, but when you go into a yoga studio, sometimes there's like elements of competition, or you're looking around the room at how other people are doing things. And I started just to think about how much of a gift it is to be developing your home practice, because a home practice really allows you to go inside rather than to look out and see what's around you. So I hope that we can find that silver lining together. And maybe you can use that as a bit of either a mantra or an intention setting for today, thinking about, it's always about progress, not product. And it's always about just seeing your own little bits of growth, whether that is mental, emotional, physical, any of that. So maybe setting an intention about making it really your own today, or sending that energy somewhere else. So just taking a moment there to kind of think on that and set a mantra or intention for yourself. And on the next inhale, you can just start to move the hands and feet a bit. Exhale, maybe side out. Inhale, lengthen the body as long as you can. Point the fingers and toes. Feel the lower back arch off the mat. And then as you exhale, bring the knees into the chest. Grab the knees, pull them in tight. Up to you if you want to also tuck the forehead up towards the knees or keep the head on the ground. Inhale, let's lengthen it out once more. Exhale, curve up into that tiny ball. Inhale, you're going to let the feet drop down to the mat. Knees are going to point up to the sky. Knees should be right over our ankles, so we don't want to let them splay out or in. And then we're going to press the palms into the mat, arms into the mat, gazing straight up. As you inhale, you're going to push the hips up, coming into just a gentle bridge. Exhale, drop the hips back down to the earth.
Move with your own breath. Inhale to rise and fill the belly. Exhale to push the belly down towards the spine as you push the back into the mat. So you can stay right here, moving with breath, just like so. Or if you want to, you can incorporate the arms. So as you inhale, you bring the arms up and overhead, pushing the hips up nice and high. And as you exhale, bringing it back down to the earth. We'll just take 3 more. Listening to the body, just warming up the spine, awakening the glutes, the hamstrings. 1 more. Exhale, bring it all the way down and bring the knees back into the chest. Give it a little rock side to side, and then let the knees fall over to either side. Open the arms out to a T. Maybe gaze over that opposite shoulder, but let's be gentle at the beginning. Deep inhale here. Exhale, bring the knees back into center. Take a little rock side to side. And then let the knees fall over to the opposite side. Open the arms out to a T. Gaze out over that opposite hand. Deep inhale. Use that exhale to bring the knees back in to the chest. So from here, you can take your time to rock up a couple times, or you can just push yourself up to a seat. We'll all meet in a comfortable seated posture, whatever that feels good for you. You can always stick that pillow under the bum if that helps bring the knees down and bring the hips up. And on our inhale, we're just gonna roll ourselves forward, push the shoulders towards the ground. As you exhale, hollow out the belly. Just taking a little barrel roll. And switching directions. And then slowly coming back to center. We're going to switch the crossing of the legs. You're going to bring the arms back behind you. So you got a couple options here. One is you can just grab opposite elbow, or maybe it's opposite wrist, wherever your body allows as we're still kind of warming up. If it feels like you could go a little deeper, you can also try clasping the hands together and bring the fists together here. So take a deep inhale, either one. Exhale, fold forward, trying to drop either the crown of the head or the forehead towards the mat. If you have the hands clasped, just try to really keep the palms as close together as you can as you lift that fist up closer to the sky. Next inhale, you're going to bring yourself all the way up. Shake out the hands. We'll just do a little bit of a neck warm up. All right, so we're going to bring our right ear over to our right shoulder. And then let's bring our left hand down on the mat to the fingertips. So you should feel a stretch through the shoulder and the neck if you're pressing the fingertips into the mat there. You can stay right here, or that right hand can come up and over and just give a tiny little bit of weight. Not a pull, you're just resting your hand on your head. Inhale, release that hand. Bring that right hand then down to the ground, push into those fingertips. Left ear, left shoulder, and then you can bring that left hand up and over if you want that added little bit of weight to stretch there. And inhale, release back to center. We're going to rock over our ankles to come into our tabletop. Before we come into the tabletop, we're going to come into a puppy pose. So keeping the hips over the knees, walking the hands forward, drop the heart and chest down towards the mat, either the chin or the forehead, and then really just try to release the upper body rather than pushing into the hands. Release and let the heart sink down. Next inhale, you're going to slowly bring yourself up. I kind of felt like I could have fallen asleep right there for a second. All right, push into the hands, get a little micro bend in the elbows. Nice, strong stretch across the shoulder blades, really widening through the shoulder blades. And then let's push into the tops of the feet and just lift the knees even just an inch. Feel that core engagement and then lower our knees down. We're gonna inhale as we lengthen that right leg back, coming into a nice calf stretch here. And then yogi's choice, you can either keep that ball on the floor or you can start to lift it up to come to float. All right, so nice long line from the crown of the head to the heel. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, curve and round, bring the knee towards the chin. Inhale, lengthen it out. Bring that knee in, pull it in tight towards the chest. Inhale, lengthen. All right, so you can stay right here with your breath, or you might incorporate that left hand into the mix, bringing the elbow towards the knee. But you can always just keep both hands on the ground and keep that core work going rather with adding that balance. All right, inhale, lengthen, and we're gonna drop that back foot to intersect with our toes so it's parallel to the back of our mat. Modified side plank, push into that left hand as you inhale and bring that right hand up to the sky. That bottom foot, if you feel unbalanced, kickstand it out and give yourself a little extra support on the back side. All right, if it's available, you can gaze up to that right thumb. One more deep breath. We're gonna reach that arm up and over alongside the ear and just feel that nice side stretch. You might even curve down like a little crescent moon. Deep inhale. Exhale, we're gonna bring that right hand back and we'll take it to the other side. All right, so pushing firmly into the hands. Take a moment to push into the tops of the feet. Feel the shoulder blades stretch across the back and then drop those knees down. Left foot comes back nice and long. Inhale, maybe float that foot up. Exhale, bring it in. As close as you can. You can always just tap back rather than float. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, bring it in. Maybe that right arm comes into the mix. Keeping the core tightly engaged to protect the lower back. Keep pushing into those left fingertips, super strong. One more, let's lengthen nice and long, hold it there. Exhale, drop that left foot. You already know you want to kickstand, let that come out. Inhale, stack the shoulders, stack the hands. Maybe gaze up. You can balance on one side better than the other. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but I don't judge myself for it. Deep inhale. Exhale, left hand comes back down. Oh, sorry, wait, bring it back up. I forgot that glorious side stretch. Reach up and over, really push that left hip up, little crescent moon. Oh yeah, can't forget that, that's the best part. Inhale up, exhale, left hand back down, coming into that tabletop. Let's drop it back to child's pose for a moment. And I'm gonna suggest you take arms along the side. I like to reach back and grab my feet. So see if that's available, like really thinking about getting this tight ball, pushing the forehead into the mat. Inhale, lengthen the arms back out if they're not there already. We're gonna tuck the toes and bring ourselves up to our first downward facing dog. You can pedal out the feet, stretch through the heel, take any movements that feel good. Maybe lift a leg. Settle into that down dog. Find some stillness. Reconnect with that intention or mantra. Let's take a couple deep breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it go. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, coming to the tippy toes. Exhale, bring yourself to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Make that nice 90-degree angle. Exhale, deep fold and pause right there. Release the neck, the head, the jaw. If you can, keep the feet together, but if you need to, you can heel toe and widen a little bit. Shake out the head, yes and no. Maybe grab opposite elbow. One more deep breath. Inhale, come back to that half lift. Get really strong. We're pausing in our half lift. So really push into the hands to activate the triceps, the shoulders, lengthen the neck. Exhale, deep fold. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up to the top. Palms come to touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. So we're going to come into our sun salutations or Surya Namaskar A. So we'll begin to flow with that. On your next inhale, you're going to bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, deep dive down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back to plank. Maybe drop the knees down. Maybe keep them lifted. As you exhale, lower all the way down, keeping those elbows tucked in tight. Untuck the toes, push into the tops of the feet. Inhale, baby cobra. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, roll down. Push yourself back up, maybe through the knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. Option to, when we do those 3 deep breaths, to exhale them out. Especially if you're just, washing away any stress or expectations. Really nice just to sigh them out. On your next inhale, coming to the tiptoes. Exhale, bring yourself back to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up. Pushing the palms together, active upper body, hands to heart center. Coming into round 2. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, diving down. Inhale, up. Exhale, step walker, float it back to your plank. Either drop the knees or keep them lifted. Exhale all the way down, nice and slow as you can go. Untuck the toes. Inhale, grow that cobra. Exhale, push up and bring yourself back. Downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths. Inhale to the toes. Exhale, bring it to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold deeply. Tuck the chin into the chest. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's pause here. Bring the thumbs to the sternum. Bring the feet nice and close together. Standing up nice and tall, roll the shoulder blades back. Little tuck of the tailbone, engagement of the core, little tuck of the chin to lengthen the back of the neck. And let's close the eyes here for a moment. Just checking in with that little bit of balance. On your next inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, diving down into your forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step walk, or float it back to plank. Lowering yourself either all the way down or into your chaturanga, your 90-degree angle. Untuck the toes. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, lift the hips. Push yourself back. Downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths. Next inhale, we're gonna let that right leg rise up. Exhale, we're gonna come step it in between the hands, coming into a low lunge, all right? As we inhale, we're gonna sink the hips, raise the heart, bring the gaze up. And as you exhale, push the hips back, try to straighten both legs as much as you can as you bow over that front leg. All right, knee can also be down. Inhale, exhale. Move with your own breath, maybe even close the eyes. Feeling into those hips, to the hamstrings, maybe pausing in either posture if it feels good. And then we'll all come to meet in that front runner's lunge. Knee can be up or down. We'll come into the twist. So plant that left hand. Inhale, reach that right arm up, stacking the shoulders just as we did in that modified side plank. One more deep inhale. Exhale, right hand comes down. Straighten both legs once more. Wind yourself around to the edge of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, wide-legged fold. Drop the head. Let gravity bring you down. Keep the hands wherever you feel most comfortable. If you want, you can try to reach the hands through and flip the palms to give just a tiny little pull. Working on bringing either the forearms towards the ground or maybe even the crown of the head. One more deep breath here. Inhale, bring those hands back so you can push yourself up to that half lift. Exhale, bring yourself to the back of your mat over that left foot. Inhale, drop the hips, gazing up. Exhale, push the hips back, straighten both legs. Move with your own breath. Maybe pausing, maybe dropping the knee. Make it your own. Let's take one more round. We'll all meet with that front knee bent. Low lunge, plant the right hand. Inhale, left hand up to the sky. Maybe you can gaze up to that left hand. Think about keeping that left hip tucked in alignment with your knee and your ankle. One more deep breath. Left hand comes back down. Push to straighten both legs. Walk yourself back to the side edge of your mat. Heel, toe the feet, possibly a little bit wider. Think about pointing the toes inward, heels out. Inhale, half lift. You might stay right here. Exhale, trying to lower maybe down towards the forearms or the crown of the head. Release the head wherever you end up. Maybe even give it a little yes, no shake. Next inhale, you're going to bring yourself back up to that half lift. Exhale, bring yourself back over to that right, to the front of your mat, over the right leg. Step that left foot back. We're going to finish our vinyasa here. Lower all the way down. Inhale up. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Inhale to the toes. Exhale, bring it to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, deep fold. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up to the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're gonna play with a bit of balance, little tree pose, a couple other little balances before we go back into our flow. So the first one is just a standing crescent. So you inhale the arms up overhead. Your left hand is gonna grab your right wrist. And the goal is really to have the feet together, but if you feel like you're gonna topple, go ahead and heel toe the feet out under the hips or even a little wider if you need to. All right, so inhale it up, left hand grabs right wrist. As you exhale, keep your hips over your knees and bending just the top part of your body, keeping the triceps close to the ears. All right, you might be here, you might be way more flexibility in your side body. All right, but what we want to avoid is pushing that hip way out. So try to keep the hips over the feet. Inhale, coming back through center. Grab left wrist this time. Lengthen, and then come over to the side. Nice side stretch there. Inhale, come back through center. Release the hands down, interlace our hands back behind us, all right? Same thing as before. If that doesn't work for you, you can grab opposite elbow. Inhale, lengthen nice and long. Push the palms together. So we have a tendency to just let the arms flay out like this. This is not good for the wrist. So push the palms together. Use your strength to bring that together. Really squeeze the shoulder blades together. Deep inhale, looking up. Exhale, folding down. Release the head. All right, opposite elbow if this does not feel good on your joints. You can bend the knees as much as you need to. Next inhale, bring it all the way back up. Release the hands, shake it out. All right, we're gonna come into our tree pose. So let's start on the right side. So left foot is gonna really ground, spread the toes, really push that ball of that foot, the triangular shape of your foot into the ground. And then we're gonna just start by kickstanding that right foot out. So my foot is gonna try to connect with the ankle. My knee is pushing away, opening. All right. From here, if you know this is your spot, just bring those palms together. We're there. If you feel like you might be able to come up to the calf, you can grow that a little bit. Otherwise, then you can take the hand and try to bring your foot to the inner thigh. We don't want to push on the knee joint, but the thigh is great. Wherever you're available. And then really think about that knee opening, hip opening. All right. Pushing into the palms, you can stay right here. Just keep that upper body active. It will help you balance. Find that drishti point, looking ahead. If it's available, you can grow those tree branches up and out, or you can even bring the palms together and then bring the arms alongside the ears. Release the shoulders if we have the arms up. One more deep breath. First, we're going to release our hands down slowly. All right. Bring that knee forward, and then we're going to step it back. Sorry, I should head further up on your mat. So step it back. All right. So right leg is back, left leg is forward. We're coming into pyramid pose. So we want to get our legs as straight as we can. We're trying to make a triangular shape with our legs. Same thing we just did before. We're going to bring the arms back together or grab opposite elbow, but put the awkward thumb on top. All right. Inhale, gazing up. Exhale, bringing ourselves down. Now, if you feel completely out of balance here, yes, you can just bring the hands to the ground. If you can keep the hands interlaced or grab opposite elbow, go for it. Deep inhale. Exhale, bow a little bit deeper if you can. Release the head, gaze back at that right foot. Deep inhale, bring yourself all the way back up. Nice strong legs. Exhale, release the hands and step it forward. Okay, we'll take that to the other side. So this time really firming that right foot down into the ground and kickstanding that left foot to our leg. All right, I always notice one of my hips is more open than the other. I can tell already at this stage of my tree pose. So I'm going to find my drishti, my focal point, and then see if I can float up to my calf. It'd be helpful to have the hands on the hips or at heart center already. And then maybe you can bring that left foot up to the inner thigh. All right, keep those toes spread. And as you push your left foot into your inner thigh, your right inner thigh, your thigh pushes back, all right? So it's like creating this resistance here. Bringing the hands to heart center if they're not there already, maybe growing your tree branches to cactus arms. So many options when you're a tree. One more deep breath. Release the hands down. Try to bring that knee forward and then step it back. Nice strong legs. All right. Bringing our arms back behind us, back to that quote unquote normal thumb on top. Working on that triangular shape. So it's not a very wide stance, maybe about 2 to 2.5 feet. Inhale, gaze up as you draw the fist down. Exhale, push into the palms. Try to keep those palms as close together as you can, bowing over that front leg. Last but not least, drop the head, lengthen the back of the neck, gaze to that left big toe. You can always release the hands down to the ground. Try to get those legs as straight as you can. One more deep breath. Inhale, bring yourself all the way up. Exhale, release the hands, step it back to the front of the mat. Inhale, the arms up, gaze up to the thumbs. Exhale, drop down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step watch, or float it back to your plank. Once you're in your plank, maybe drop the knees, lowering down, or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, push the hips back, downward facing dog. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale that right leg up to the sky. Three-legged dog, full breath here. On your next exhale, come step it in between the hands. Drop that back left foot down. We're coming into warrior one. All right, hips should feel a bit more open here. We're kind of getting that right knee over right ankle. Fire up that back leg, get it as straight as you can. Your arm variation of choice. Beach ball up top, hands to heart center. Whatever feels best for you. So this is like our working towards this kind of peak pose here where we can bring our arms back behind us. Hopefully the shoulders are more warmed up now. So we're going to bring those arms back down and around, clasping the thumbs. Once again, grabbing opposite elbows. So we're doing a lot of shoulder blades down the back, heart opening. All right. Inhale, gazing up. Exhale, we're going to try to come all the way down so that our right shoulder can connect with our right knee. If you feel like you're too much on a tightrope, you can heel toe that front foot out a little bit and give yourself a little bit more space. Once again, if this is too intense, hands can be on the ground and you just focus on lengthening that hamstring. One more deep breath. Inhale, we're gonna peel all the way up and open up to warrior two. All right, so hips get to open. Gaze out over that right middle finger. Inhale to reverse. We're gonna straighten that front leg. So it's like our pyramid pose. Both legs are straight, but much wider. Exhale, we're gonna come forward. Reach, 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 reach. Then drop that hand down, open up to triangle. Stacking the shoulders, legs are straight. You can always be up here on your shin. It's not how low can you go, it's how open can you be. Like you're being pressed in between the pages of a book, trying to get as like to call it mission impossible as possible. One more deep breath. Next inhale, you're gonna, as you bend that front knee, come back to reverse. Exhale, windmill it all the way down. Step it back, flow or push back, downward facing dog. Once we're at that down dog, we're gonna take it to the other side. Inhale that left leg up. Let that right heel really sink down towards the mat. Deep inhale. Exhale, come to step it through. Prepare for your warrior one. Drop that back heel. Inhale, bring yourself up. Choose your arm variation. Checking that that knee is over ankle. Back leg is fired up and straight. Trying to really think about squaring those hips as forward as you can. So pushing into that back edge of your foot will help you bring those hips forward. And then we'll all bring the hands down. Funky thumb on top. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, diving down, bringing that left shoulder towards that left knee. Pushing the palms together, gazing back at that right big toe. One more deep breath. Inhale, bring it all the way back up to the top. Release the hands. Exhale, warrior two. Enjoy that hip opening. Inhale, flip that front palm to reverse. Straighten that front leg, should feel really good. Exhale, reach forward, coming into your triangle. Thinking about really peeling the heart open, bringing those shoulder blades closer together. Gazing up maybe to that right thumb, or just looking straight ahead if that feels better on the neck. Getting those legs straight and strong. One more deep breath. Next inhale, coming to reverse, bending that front knee. Exhale, windmill all the way down. Step it back. Flow or push back, downward facing dog. We'll all meet in child's pose. Once you hit that down dog, dropping the knees, sitting back into the heels, and taking your child's pose of choice. So maybe you want to reach the arms back and totally just let the shoulders fall and surrender on top of the knees. You want to stretch those arms out, but face the palms up. Maybe you want to push the palms together to reverse prayer in the shoulder blades. So it feels good for you. Next inhale, we're going to push into the palms. Bring ourselves back into down dog momentarily. We'll inhale that right leg up to the sky and then come to step it through into our pigeon pose. Work those left toes back or come onto the back into your figure four pose. So if we've got that, if pigeon comes somewhat easy to us, we want to bring that left foot forward to try to get our shin bone more parallel with the mat. If it's challenging, bring that foot closer to the left hip to give yourself a little bit wider of a range. You can always tuck a pillow underneath your right bum cheek here just to give you a little lift. A little bit more support. Inhale, really lengthen, and then think about bringing yourself not just down, but forward as well. Lengthening the spine, coming to a spot where you can completely rest, so maybe stacking the fists or the palms, thinking about the shoulder blades down the back. We're gonna inhale up just a little bit. And then we're gonna bring that left hand, we're gonna thread the needle underneath the right arm. So you're staying in your pigeon with your legs. You're just adding a little twist, a ring out of the body, and then you're gonna rest the head on the hand or the ground. Of course, this is optional. All things are optional. Inhale, slowly bring yourself back up to center. We're gonna take that to the other side. So untuck the toes, bring yourself back to that down dog. Inhale that left leg up. Come to bring that left leg forward, choosing, the angle of choice with your shin and heel. Work those right toes back. Inhale, lengthen nice and long. As you exhale, bringing it forward and down, just coming to rest in your pigeon pose. Noting that one side will likely feel totally different from the other, and that's okay. Inhale, bringing yourself up just a little bit. So you can bring that right hand underneath to thread the needle, to bring that right shoulder down on the ground, resting the right temple, coming into just a little twist. And you might see that this works on one side and not the other, and that's okay. Couple more deep breaths here in the twist. Next inhale, we're going to slowly bring ourselves back up. You're going to untuck the toes so you can bring yourself back into that down dog, just to shake it out, wag the tail, neutralize a bit. And then you're going to walk your hands and feet to meet each other at the center of your mat. You're going to heel toe your feet to the width of your mat, nice and wide. And then slowly bring the hips down into your malasana or your yogi squat. All right. If you are not able to bring the heels down, you can be right here. All good. If we're in our malasana, you can bring the palms up. You're going to push into the palms so that the elbows push the knees out a bit wider. Inhale, nice and tall, lengthen. And we're going to play just with a tiny bit of crow today. Even if it's not in your practice, I'll walk you through a way that just allows us to start to play with it. If it's in your practice, go bonkers. Bring that right hand down and your left hand down about the same distance as if you were doing a plank. And then you're going to slowly just let yourself roll. I'm going to move back so you can see me. Roll your weight towards the back of your arm. So I'm just on my tiptoes here. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm coming back and then I'm bringing myself forward. And this might be where you are at with your crow today. All right, if it's available, you want to go a little bit further. You want to try to get the knee a little bit higher. So if it's just above the elbow, it's going to be hard to eventually do crow. So this part, you're just working on getting that knee a little bit deeper. And then you might take one toe and the other toe and just play with a little bit of lift and then come back. We're just coming forward. Maybe you stay here even. Maybe you lift a toe, the other toe, and then roll it back. Maybe then you can come forward, looking about 2 feet in front of you, and you might just notice that the toes start to lift. All right, as you come forward, and maybe you can bring the toes together and then come back down. So it's all very momentary, that's not a word, very brief lift. Bring the toes together. and back down. All right. And then we're just gonna come to sit on her bum and shake the legs out, shake out the hips, rock it around a bit, bring the toes and feet out wide, and just let that all go there. All right, we're gonna bring our soles of our feet together into butterfly. Just release the hips after that a little bit. So you can decide if you want the feet more wide. This will be a nice release on the lower back. If you bring the feet in real tight, obviously it's more of an inner hip stretch, all right? And then you might even just find yourself somewhere in the middle for a little of both. So we're gonna grab onto the feet, inhale, lengthen your spine nice and long. As you exhale, think about how we hinge at the hips, and then you'll eventually get to a spot where you just need to curve and round and drop the head. Couple deep breaths here. Slowly roll yourself up. We're gonna do one last little bit of core work. Bring the knees together. Bring the heels as close to your bum as you can. You're gonna come on to the tiptoes and zip the legs together, the knees together, the thighs together, the calves together. And then you'll notice I'm getting my back really, really straight. So I'm not rounding here. I'm bringing my shoulder blades down the back, sitting nice and tall. From here, you're gonna just start to lift one leg, pointing. You can continue to do one leg, or you might do two. If you're doing two, you might bring the hands underneath the knees. Anytime that the back can no longer stay straight and the core can protect that lower back, you just drop down one level. Maybe you can release the hands and just hinge at the knees. Maybe you can play with finding some balance and keeping the knees up. You can play with maybe flexing and pointing. All right. And then we're gonna go down as slow as you can possibly go. Slow, slow, slow. Slow motion. Oh, and pause. Just kidding. Go all the way down. Release yourself onto the ground. Oh, it feels good. All right. So you want to be able to come back into that bridge that we started at the beginning of class. So you're going to bring your your bum as close to the heels as you can. The knees are going to point up. You're going to push into the palms, the shoulder blades. We're going to inhale, bring the hips up to the sky, work the shoulder blades underneath. Maybe you stay right here. Maybe the hands can grasp one another, pushing into that fist, really getting the hips high, gazes straight up. One more deep breath. Slowly release the hands. Bring the bum back towards the heels. Windshield wiper left and right. From here, we're going to come into our inversion. And our inversion today is going to be our plow pose, shoulder stand into our fish pose. All right, but if you would rather take a moment to practice your headstand at the wall or practice, just legs up the wall or something like that, you're more than welcome to, as always. So we're gonna go with the shoulder stand. We're gonna bring the feet up overhead, push the arms and engage the core. Bring the belly button down towards the spine, engage and squeeze here. We'll take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, you're gonna use the core and the hands to bring the feet up and overhead. It's okay if your feet don't touch the ground, just bring the hands to the lower back to support, all right? So even if your feet are up here, you're all right, you're still in plow pose. You want to really keep the neck long when we're in plow pose, as much as you can. All right,
One more deep breath and plow, and then we're gonna start to bring the hands as low as we can towards the shoulder blades, and then slowly bring the feet up. And you can do one leg at a time, they don't have to come together. Gaze up towards the toes, zip the legs together. It's okay if the feet are up over the head over time. You wanna work on bringing the feet over the hips because it'll bring the weight more into the shoulders and out of the neck. I'm trying to stay here for about 8 to 10 breaths. Of course, you come down when you've had enough. Taking deep breaths into the belly. As whenever you're ready, you're gonna come back to plow. Take your time if you want to stay up in your shoulder stand. And then you're gonna start to bring the palms closer together as you slowly, with control, bring yourself back down. And as I come down, I like to bring my palms together into a diamond shape. And they're gonna land right underneath my sacrum. So as my feet come down, I'm ready for my fish pose. So pushing myself then up onto my elbows, which are as close together as I can manage. And then I exhale, let the crown of my head fall down. Open the throat. Maybe the crown reaches the ground, maybe not. It's okay. Breathe there. And your next inhale, you're going to bring the gaze, the head back up, and then release the elbows down, coming back onto your back. And then I just like to let my head float left and right a little bit. And then I bring my knees into the chest. This is that final minute here where you get to take anything that feels good for you. I love to take a twist at the end of my practice, but maybe you want to take a child's pose. Maybe you want to invert a little longer. Switching sides if you're twisting. Coming back through center, we'll all start to work our way towards our Shavasana. So completely relaxing on the back. Allowing the feet and hands to splay out. I usually like to kind of tuck my shoulder blades underneath, tuck my glutes a little bit. It just gives me the most comfortable spot where I can really relax. So find that space for yourself. Once you're there, we'll take a quick body scan to ensure we have completely released the whole body. So allow the toes all the way through the feet to the heels, the calves, releasing the knees, the thighs, the hips. Allow the breath to return to a natural state. So you can release the abdomen, the chest, the shoulders, all the way down to the fingertips. Releasing the neck, the jaw, all the tiny muscles in your face, around your ears, eyes, nose, through the brow, and all the way up to the crown of your head. using the tools of our mantra or intention and our breath to keep us right here to honor this final pose. And gently begin to deepen your breath. Inviting tiny movements into fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. And on your next inhale, bringing the arms up overhead and bringing the legs together, coming into a deep stretch. As you exhale, bringing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a hug, showing yourself gratitude for coming to your mat today. And then rolling on to your favorite side, coming into the first posture our bodies ever knew. In your next inhale, bringing yourself up to a comfortable seated posture, keeping the eyes and body restful. We'll inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale the hands to heart center. Bringing the palms together to generate heat and energy. We'll bring the palms over the eyes. Maybe use this energy to look within more than we look out. Bringing the palms together. Again, this time we'll cover the ears. May we use this energy to really listen within rather than to the comments outside of ourselves. Bringing the palms together once more. This time we'll cover our hearts. May we use this energy to live our truth and love ourselves fully. Inhaling the arms up overhead once more. Exhale, hands to heart center. Namaste.